So Stuart Moore, firstly, how's the international break been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good to regroup. Obviously, give us a little bit of a rest because we've got a busy period coming up. But yeah, work on a few things ready for the game ahead of Saturday.
Is there any sense, though, that you get some really good momentum going, especially with sort of recent results away from home, and then it comes to a stop?
Yeah, I think so. You do get in the swing of things, but you have to deal with it differently. So, like I say, there's a lot of games coming up, so hopefully we can build a bit of momentum. But at times it's also good to have that break and sort of regroup. A few lads carrying knocks and that, get them back fully fit and, feel fresh going into a game. So it can work both ways, really.
Not so long ago, we kept talking about poor away form. All of a sudden, two great results in performances at Forest Green and Colchester. What does that do for confidence?
Oh yeah, it's massive. Obviously, it gives us that confidence. Once we got that first away win, we knew it was always there. It was just a matter of obviously, getting a bit of luck and taking our chances really. So yeah, I think it's one of those. I think everyone looks at it differently to we do. We don't really worry too much about it. Obviously ourselves, we just go out game in, game out, just to do the same thing really. So, obviously I know there wasn't a lot of wins away from home, but there wasn't anything that was really bothering us. It was just the way it went really.
So when you go to bottom of the table, Sutton, is there any risk of overconfidence at all now?
I think you just got to take it a game at a time, really. Every game's different. There's no easy games in this league. Whether you're playing top of the league or bottom of the league, the table sometimes can sort of give you that false hope, really. So it's one of those that obviously, people will look at it thinking, oh, you should win that, but every game has its different challenges, and like I say, there's no easy game in this league.
Yeah, it does feel like a close league, doesn't it? A tight league.
Yeah, definitely. Home games, away games, every team plays differently. I mean, you look at some of the fixtures and some of the results, and there's a lot of shock results this year. But I've played this league plenty of times before, and I, for one hand, know that there's no game that you can go into and think, oh, we're definitely going to win that, because they are all difficult games.
McKeen got a hat-trick last time out. Obviously, apart from the goals, how important is he to the team at the minute?
JJ's been brilliant this season, as have a lot of players. But yeah, he's in good form, and hopefully he can continue going forward with it.
Like a lot of the first team, you sat out the Barrow game in the EFL Trophy, but it did show the depth, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We haven't got a huge squad here, but what we have got is we've got good quality in every position, and we've got good cover as well. So, if we miss out with players through suspensions or injury, we have got players that are very capable of coming in and doing a job for us.
With the games in hand, and I know it's probably a supporters thing more than a players thing, you could easily find yourself in the playoff spots if you won those games in hand. Is that a realistic possibility, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like I say, we just take it game by game at a time. It's such an early stage in the season. We just have to win as many games as we possibly can, pick up as many points as we can, and obviously see where we are come the end of the season. But obviously, ultimately, that is the aim, just to aim and finish as high as we can up the table.
How exciting is it though when you're in good nick and you're right on the fringes or something?
It's brilliant. There's no better feeling than when you win a game of football. So if we can put a little run together and continue it, then obviously the atmosphere around the place at the moment is brilliant. So hopefully we can keep that going.
I know goalkeepers might be different, but this week there's been this PFA survey into the effects in terms of injuries of the additional minutes being played this season. What are your thoughts on that, on the amount of extra time, injury time you're having to play?
Yeah, it definitely does play a toll. I think it was a shock to a lot of people, including myself. Obviously, first game of the season, when you get towards the end of the game, and unless there's really been like a big injury through that game, you don't get that many minutes added on. So when they're sort of bringing up 8-9 minutes and playing well over 10 minutes added time, for each half you're looking at almost like anything between 10 and 20 minutes extra, which is a lot of time. So when lads are obviously pushing themselves physically, you have to sort of adapt, and you have to try keep a little bit in the tank until the end, because obviously you'd see at the start of the season people were knackered coming the end of the game. So yeah, you do have to adapt your game a little bit to it, but I think hopefully now they're getting the balance right of the additional time.
Yeah, the other issue they talked about in this survey was the lack of recovery time between Saturdays and midweek fixtures. Now, you've just had the international break, but a knock-on effect of that is that you will be playing a lot of Saturday, Tuesdays, won't you? Is that a factor as well, do you think? Particularly, you're playing much longer than 90 minutes now.
Yeah, definitely. especially in this league when you have either games called off or international breaks, it's difficult because you do have to fit those games in somewhere. So it will be a lot of Saturday, Tuesdays, but I think, like you touched on before, gaining that momentum for us now and having that depth in the squad is going to be vital for us, because there will be players that obviously won't be able to play every single game in there, so we're going to need a lot of rotation. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can keep as many fit as we can. So yeah, just looking forward to it now.
And what about your own form? You've made that number 1 shirt your own, really, haven't you? You must be pleased.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very pleased with how the season's gone so far, but obviously, like I said before, we're very early into the season, so just want to keep that going as long as possible, and obviously just stay on top of my game. So I'm working hard every day, and I'm being pushed every day as well by Adam Smith, so it really keeps me on my toes.
Get money for your old phone, MazumaMobile.com.